Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically still in this very ugly pattern to the downside potentially. So I'm still, using this C wave currently. Well, I'm still following the C wave at the moment. The idea that we have formed the top here in the B wave of this current wave 4 correction, and that the price is coming down in wave C. So, but it's not a very clear pattern, right? I mean, at the moment, it has shown us a potential 5-wave move to the downside. Yesterday, we wanted to see a recovery in a wave 2, which is what it's doing right now. And it's now only just now in resistance. ETH, noteworthy, yeah, very noteworthy. ETH broke above resistance. Now, could this be the signal that ETH is starting to outperform BTC? As I forecasted it, at some point we want to see ETH start outperform Bitcoin. So far, no signals yet. I will address that in possibly an ETH BTC video later. I think it's a little too early, but ETH has, and that is very noteworthy, broken above resistance. And I mean, there are talks about ETFs and stuff, so there might be a catalyst there. But at the moment, Bitcoin isn't doing anything that would be in any way unexpected or surprising or anything that's literally not moved a lot today. Just pushed a little bit into resistance, which is what we want in wave 2. Now, I'm watching for a potential reaction and a third wave to the downside. But Bitcoin would need to do that before the price breaks above $44,410 or $44,420. It's the B wave high. Yeah, that level will differ a little bit depending on which exchange we're looking at. The overall idea is still, that we are in this 4th wave, completed an A wave, completed a B wave, and this C wave to the downside is unfolding right now. Again, problem I have with this, the look of this, it's not impulsive, so something different might be going on. And a break above that B wave high will lead to invalidation, and it will mean that possibly here some kind of a triangle or something is going on, or maybe not even a triangle, rather a reset of the B wave higher, and we have an overshooting B wave, like ETH might be working on something like that right now, unless it's working on a breakout, which I'm not primarily looking for right now. So the situation really hasn't changed. We're still caught in a corrective pattern still unfolding. The overall pattern that we've seen here in these corrections is really that resistances get broken just to fail afterwards, okay? So I just want to highlight, there's no guarantee we come down in a C wave right now. But if the C wave is unfolding, then ideally I'd like to see the 3rd wave start its downside trajectory very shortly before breaking above, ideally the trend line. Okay, above that level, we've got the resistance, Fib resistance, and above that level, we've got the invalidation point. So I just already mentioned this trend line. There's something I added earlier today in the video. So it's just something to watch, maybe an additional level of resistance within this Fibonacci resistance zone. It's obviously a dynamic one, so it depends on when the price reaches it, where the level is, the price. But at the moment, it would be around 43,570. Could be that Bitcoin is going to stretch towards it. That's, I think, what it might be trying. And then to test it, break above it would send it to 43,837. A break above it would send it to 44,410 roughly. Yeah, and above that level, we're dealing with an extended B wave, and it could then react to this upper boundary line of the trend channel. So we really have to take it level by level in this correction until we see a proper impulse to the upside or clearer signals that an overall low has already formed. I'm still leaning towards further sideways action or downside. And the real question is going to be, somewhere in this support area, where will it find support, and does a first impulse show before breaking below $34,070? So this is the general support area. As long as $34,070 is holding, a 5th wave to the upside into the region around 50K plus is expected. So we're still watching for higher prices on the chart. The only question is, because we're dealing here with a 1-hour chart, how deep is the pullback going to be? And pullbacks historically have been very shallow, at least in 2023. on the Bitcoin chart. So, but at the same time, it's, the pullback is too shallow to be reliable to call it complete. So yeah, again, until we have an impulse to the upside or anything that suggests that the low is in, I'm still leaning towards sideways action or downtrend to complete this C wave of wave 4. I just want to mention again that there's a lot of noise, a lot of up and down short term, which is unpredictable. So if you want to avoid that noise, stay on the larger time frame. And the larger time frame means basically the daily chart. And the strategy might be, a wise strategy might be to just sort of scale in as the price drops a little lower and scale out as the price increases. The daily chart reveals this ascending trend line here, which is also an explanation why Bitcoin has stopped coming down, okay? But a break below that trend line could really lead to an acceleration of that C wave to the downside. And that's the trend line. I mean, the level at the moment will be around 42.3K. But overall, no assumption change. And as you can see here, that's what we've been talking about in the last few weeks. Literally, the pattern on the daily time frame hasn't changed for weeks or months. So the idea is still that one more high here is expected next, and this is the first significant line of support. Of course, there are short-term support levels, but the first significant level of support is here for at $34,060. That's my update about Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.